What's happening, y'all? It's Combo. I just gotta say, man, Microsoft ain't playing, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. I had to work late, so I got off and I checked out the news, and I couldn't believe it. Microsoft is about to acquire Activision? Oh, man. I'm telling you, Microsoft ain't playing. They ain't playing. I feel that this happened for two reasons. One, they're looking to make Game Pass into the next Netflix, and they become quite successful with it at 25 million subscribers. And I think they're using this deal as leverage against Sony. So in a sense, I feel as though Sony's basically gatekeeping the Marvel series, like Spider-Man and now Wolverine. That's not a bad thing because it is their studio. Insomniac is their studio, so they do have the right to do that. But I think Microsoft is like, hey, if you're gonna lock down Final Fantasy, if you're gonna lock down Street Fighter for this generation, we're coming for everything. We're coming for our whole share of this market. And I think that this is not going to be as much of a cakewalk for them as it was last generation. Last generation, they basically walked up and just took that title. Microsoft, knowing this, and if you heard their philosophy when all this was going on, where their belief was, this is a marathon, not a sprint, then it starts to make sense now that we're in 2022. And I'm telling you, I feel that if their next acquisition is, let's say, CD Projekt Red, or maybe a Japanese studio like Konami, it's going to be checkmate for this generation. It's going to be hard not to have an Xbox in your house. It's going to be very, very difficult. So I'm just saying, you keep watching. This generation is going to be a very, very close one. Now, that's not to say that Sony doesn't have their own plans and their own ideas of what they're going to do this generation. The one thing I think that Sony does have going for them is they got the VR market already established on their console. That's one good thing that they have going for them. They're able to have their own version of the metaverse on their console. And I do see that forward thinking is going to benefit them in the long run, especially with the way things are going in terms of that technology. But I'm telling you right now, Microsoft in this console space, they're not playing anymore. They are not playing anymore. Now, to the ones that are downplaying this move, I'll have you know that they also acquired Crash Bandicoot and Spiral. Now, let me just say this. Just having Crash Bandicoot is like a dagger to the heart. If you grew up in the 90s and you remember the original PlayStation, do y'all remember those vignettes, those commercials that had Crash Bandicoot, the Crash Bandicoot mascot standing in front of Nintendo with the megaphone telling Nintendo that they were coming to take over? Y'all don't remember that? What's it to Microsoft to do something very, very similar? What's it to them to do that? It's in their power to do so. They could put Crash Bandicoot back in his mascot uniform and put him out there in front of the Sony offices in America with a megaphone calling them out. What's it to them to do that? This is why you can't downplay a move like that. They can be very, very masterful with this, especially if they make him their official mascot. I'm telling you, they can do so much with this, just this one property. Now, they have other properties that they acquired. Call of Duty, for example. that game being on Game Pass, you being able to access the campaign and the multiplayer functions without having to pay the full price for it, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. And what about World of Warcraft? What would happen if they took World of Warcraft and finally put it on a console? You can only play it on the Xbox. You got to start looking at it like this. That's going to be very, very hard to compete with. Now, the PC market won't have this issue, of course, because they have access to almost everything. But in the console space, for those who primarily game on console, this is huge. Very, very huge. I'm telling you. Imagine StarCraft on the Xbox. And now Overwatch, a very, very popular game, not being able to play the next Overwatch on your PlayStation. Granted, I think they are going to allow Overwatch to be one of those games that PlayStation gamers will be able to play. But then again, like I said, I can't predict the future in this case. But I'll honestly say that this acquisition is going to hurt. And personally, I will say that, this age of gatekeeping games, I'm not a fan of it. I know a lot of this happened last generation, but this generation, I'm really not a fan of it. But I understand that it's all business. Hopefully, these two companies can come to the table and work something out where, everyone wins. But I'm telling you right now, Microsoft is really going to dominate this generation. Enough about my opinion on this subject. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Microsoft is about to dominate this generation? And what do you think Sony's response will be to this? Do you think Sony shouldn't be worried? Leave a comment below. And if you liked the video, click the like button. And I thank you for tuning in. And as always, this is Combo. And I hope y'all win today. Peace.